Today, I'm going to be creating 2 monthly spreads and my 1 little word journal, so stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. My name is Tracy and I am a girl with plans. I want to thank you so much for pressing that play button today. And if you find that you enjoy this video, do not forget to hit that like button. All right. So this is the journal that I am using for my 1 little word for 2024. This is an A5 Archer and Olive notebook. And basically, when this year first started, I knew what I wanted my word to be, which is now. And that word, I really need to embody that every single day. I'm not necessarily a procrastinator, but when things get a little uncomfortable, or sometimes I get into my lazy ways, I do tend to put things off, which I guess in a way is procrastinating, but I put them off and typically don't do them. So it's a little bit different. And they're not like important things. I'm just talking about, getting out of the house, or when you get invited somewhere, you might not feel like it, but I need to stop saying next time and go ahead and do it now. That's the kind of stuff I'm thinking of. Basically, life is short. Just need to go ahead, and if I can do it, if I have the means, the time off work, anything like that, then I should do it, right? So that's kind of the philosophy I'm trying to embrace this year. And in order to make sure that that word stays on the forefront, I created a 1 little word journal. I did purchase the 2023 Ali Edwards digital 1 little word thing where they have prompts so you can print out things. And I did look at them for both April and May, and it's kind of similar to what I'm already doing, so I'm not going to use those. And I have not used those so far. I've just been kind of doing basic journaling. And I'll kind of discuss some of that as I start decorating. So I have not done April yet. Yes, we are in May, but I have not done April. April was pretty much a rough month for me. I had just gotten back from vacation at the end of March. So I was kind of trying to get back into the swing of things. And then I had to go wild. And then I had a sinus infection. So April was pretty much a wash. But that's fine. We have plenty of stuff I can write about. And I don't want to skip the month because I went to go wild. And that in itself was embodying now, because it was definitely one of those things that I was on the fence about. And then I'm like, you know what? Everything is falling into place for me to be able to go on that specific date. I'm at that specific location. So I was like, you know what? I need to go ahead and do it, because next year things may not align as perfectly as it did this year. So that was one of the reasons. That's one way I embodied the word now. And then there were a couple other things that I did at Go Wild, like putting myself out there and things like that, that I feel like embodied it. So I don't want to, just because I missed April, I don't want to skip it all together. So I'm going to be doing April and May. So here is March. When I set up March, I just knew that there was going to be a lot of things vacation related, because I went to Egypt where I was going to write things. So I did kind of these highlighter, mile liner type lines where I can write some of the top things I saw. And then I have some journal space. And even though I went to Egypt, this is all the journal space I used. So now I know for April, I'm only going to use this 2-page spread. I'm not going to do the 4 pages like I usually do. But I'm almost thinking, do I even need to do 4 pages for any of the months? So we'll see. So I got this sticker book at Go Wild. So because I got it recently, I want to use it. And these 2 pages kind of fell out of the sticker book. So I think that means I need to use them. So we're going to use them. Even though it's May and it's been raining a whole lot, I think I want to use the rain stuff for April. Now, how do I use this? So it is a journal, but as you can see, I don't write a whole lot. I just want to capture how I used my word. So what did I do this month that I kind of went out of my comfort zone to do things now that maybe I would not have normally done. Maybe I would have put off either temporarily or put off permanently. Just like I said previously, due to discomfort or things like that. So I kind of just want to record some of those momentous occasions or some of those milestones in my journal to look back at. The other thing is, obviously, because I have a journal, it means every month I have to do something that I can put in here. So that's another thing that kind of, this is more of an encouragement type thing. So yeah, let's see here. Trying to think of how I want to do this, but yeah, so that's kind of how I'm going. That's kind of how I use it. My word is not very difficult to, oh my gosh, these stickers, sometimes some clear stickers are so hard to get off the page sometimes, but my word is not very difficult to journal about now, you know, now. How did I do something that I would have usually put off? It is, like I said, it's pretty easy to kind of journal about. So there's other words out there that may not be as easy to journal about. And that is when things like Allie Edwards, her one little word course or things like that might be a little bit more helpful because of the prompts they have. So for example, last year's, I don't know what this year's prompts are. I'm not sure. I've only done it for 1 year, or I only have the course for 1 year. I've never actually participated in it. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good, but yeah, I just haven't really ever participated in it. But I do have the course because I got it heavily discounted toward the end of the year. So I didn't really get to partake in a lot of the, I know there's like online kind of like groups, like I think there's like a Facebook group and things like that where you can kind of interact with other people. So you have all of that. All right, I think that's all I'm going to do right now. Which could be very motivational, especially if you do have a word that you do struggle with. And sometimes your word of the year should be things that you're struggling with because it can help you kind of overcome those struggles. Let's see. I know there are boxes in here. So yeah, sometimes we definitely need some assistance when it comes to implementing our word, and some of those courses like that can be helpful. So where was I going? I was going with the last year's one. I think November was like doing a photo collage for your word of the year, or you know, somewhere around that, like in that kind of realm. I don't know the specifics. I didn't get into it. I just kind of like glanced at it. Because I like to kind of glance to see if it's something that I might want to try or do, but I'm kind of good right now with just doing my kind of free journaling. So I think I'm going to keep it as is. Let me put this one. I don't know how to do this. I only have a couple more. Sorry, I interrupted my little chattiness. I kind of want this here for some reason. And maybe I'll do another box under it. So yeah, the gist of my story is, like right now, this is what's working. Like I'm able to still free journal about my word. However, if I did run into issues, then I was planning on like turning back to that. So like I said, March was a collage, a photo collage, like kind of embodying your word. And then May, I think, was a discussion with your word, or saying yes to your word, which is funny because I was like, okay, so I know I didn't need the prompt for April, but I was like, maybe I'll need it for May. And then I'm like, well, I kind of am having a discussion, like the way this is, and my word, because of my word is kind of saying yes. That's kind of a big way of how I'm defining the word now is like pretty much saying yes to the things that I'm second guessing or thinking about putting off. No, I need to do it now and not later. That's the reason why I went with now instead of yes, because the thought was some of these things I need to do now, and not sometimes just saying yes doesn't mean you do them now. You could always still do them later, and then they still might go by the wayside. So that's why I went the now route instead of the yes route. But the prompt, because the prompt this month was saying yes to the word, again, this was the 2023 prompt, I decided just to go with my random old stickering journaling type spread. All right, so this is April. Now I'm gonna hurry up and decorate for May. And I guess we'll use the duckies. Yeah, so April, I'll have a lot to write about as far as like go wilds and stuff like that. But I'll just write some of the examples of how I used the word now in my life. I'll put April up there in a little bit. We'll see how I do that. But yeah. So that's kind of my, I guess, a little bit long explanation of this particular journal. I don't think I'm going to be filming this every month. I mean, it might be fun for you guys to see me decorate it. I don't know. I'm not sure what your preferences are. But nothing really changes as far as this goes. I mean, I guess I'm going from 2 pages down to 1. I don't know. However, right now I will say, okay, what is this working for me? Okay, so I'm utilizing it, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's working for me. I will admit the first half of the year, I'm trying to think, because March and April, I went on vacation. And I feel, you know, those 2 vacations 1000% embodied the word now. And those, I mean, basically me booking those vacations, especially the March vacation, was kind of one of the reasons why I went with this word, because I booked it at the end of the year, and it was one of those things I was toying with because I would be traveling alone. I mean, I was going on like a tour, but I was still traveling alone and, you know, going to another, like the other, I don't want to say the other side of the world, but it still was like, you know, an 8-hour flight, a couple of layovers. So traveling alone, it still felt alone to me. So that's a lot to kind of, you know, take into account when you're, you know, figuring out what you want to do and trying to get the bravery to do it. So I like booked that in November, and that's kind of when this word popped up into my brain, because I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is how I'm gonna put this big one over here. I'm like, this next year is going to be the year of now, the year of me doing all the things within reason. Because like I said, I still have work. I still have responsibilities. So I can't like say yes always to everything, but I can't say no just because I don't feel like it. I think that's the bottom line. Let's put this little guy over here. I don't know where I want the ducks. All right. So obviously the months I went on vacation, I think I embodied the word. I think I used the word. The word played a big role in some of the decisions I made, some of the things I did, etc., etc. But then when I look at like February and March, I probably wasn't as good as I was those other months. I mean, not February, March, January and March. I wasn't as good as far as my word of the year goes. Let's see. Let's just see. So, oh yeah. So January, I didn't even have a third one that I wrote. I did free journal. But I think I was starting over like with the whole New Year's resolution. So that's kind of a lot of the things that were on my resolutions that I started doing. I did book Go Wild. So that was kind of embodying now. February, I made time in my busy schedule to catch up with several friends, spent time with my dad for his birthday, but then the third thing was buying all things for my upcoming trip. So, I mean, it was a little bit of a struggle, I guess you could say, for those. I mean, I was kind of stretching to find it. But yeah, I still think it was okay. I was still thinking about it, right? It was still in my mind. It was still in my brain, but yeah. All right. So I'm going to do these two. Probably should have did it opposite. Put that there. This one here. But like this month is my birthday month. So there are definitely things that like I put in my goals that kind of reflect doing things now. It means like doing something for my birthday, you know. That's typically not something that I would always do. Obviously I don't have like parties anymore. And, you know, when you were younger, you used to like go out for your birthday and do fun stuff. You know, there's really not much that I can really think of doing. So it is something that I feel like, okay, what do I do now? But I want to do something. So like that will be an example. Hopefully if I follow through and actually do something for my birthday, then that will be one example of me doing something now. Maybe I can go further down here. So that would be one example. With the weather being like it is, I also want to like spend some more quality time with the folks, maybe do some things with them before it gets like June hot. May's been kind of interesting this year. May's been the weather's been very spring-like, which I feel like is very unusual for the past few Mays have been kind of a little bit on the warmer side. Felt like we used to miss it, but now I feel like it's better. Okay, so I'm just going to use these. All right. I'm out of these stickers, so I don't have any more. I feel like I need some more, but there was only one set in this sticker book. I mean, there's florals and stuff, but... and there are trees, but there's nothing else I really can use. And I don't want to put I can put a quote. Let's put a quote. Maybe I'll just do this. Dance in the rain. I feel like I want something there. I feel like I'm going to have to put a box there just because of that empty space is kind of just bothering me. So we'll add I mean, I have stuff for this. So I can probably fill up April a lot easier than I can probably fill up May. Sadly. I shouldn't say sadly. I know what I did in April, so. All right, let me... I don't like how that was. I don't like how going in a line it was. Maybe that's what I should say. Can I move this now that I put this down? Okay. Wow. Okay. Was not expecting that. All right. So let's just do that and that. And then I can just do April here. All right. There we go, guys. There we go for a revisit of my word of the year, one little word journal. So I have April and May. Again, I'm just going to use this to kind of write down things that I do throughout the month. It could be anything. As I said, when I gave you examples of what I did for January and February, which I kind of laughed at when I said it, but I probably shouldn't have been laughing at it because it can be things that simple. It could be things as simple as, you know, fulfilling like your regular goals, which may include some of your day-to-day activities. If that has something to do with your word of the year, then yeah, why can't you write that down? Why can't you write that down every single month if you do it every single month? Sure. I mean, that's like a perfect example, actually. you know, something as simple as, you know, reaching out, like for me, because the word is now, reaching out to loved ones, scheduling outings, going on trips, things like that. So like anything minor to big can go in here. I just need to remember to write it down as it happens and not necessarily waiting to the end of the month, because in all honesty, looking back at April, it's going to be probably all Go Wilds related, because that's the one thing that sticks out in my mind. And even though I'm in my brain, I'm thinking, well, before Go Wild, I was just prepping for Go Wilds. And then afterwards, I wasn't feeling well. There very well could have been other prime examples of me using my word of the year that now have just slipped my mind. So I probably need to actually be more aware of coming into this particular journal once a week. Whether or not I have anything to write once a week is another thing, but at least if I know that this is going to be part of my weekly reset every week, where on Sundays I go in and I plan for the week ahead, this should also be one where I'm kind of reflecting on the week prior. So that's something that I really do feel like I need to work on when it comes to this particular journal. However, I am still in it. I am still trying to make strides towards it. And I am still glad that I decided to go this route to ensure that I am utilizing my word of the year, which I think is probably one of my biggest goals this year, because I want to start living in the now, doing things now, and things like that. And this is one way to kind of make sure that I stay on that path. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't as much like fun decorating. I just threw some stickers on the spread with some boxes, but hopefully you enjoyed my little chit chat about my overall journey thus far with my word of the year journal, as well as maybe giving you some inspiration to start one of your own. So that's all I have for now, guys. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. And wait a minute, I need to tell you something else. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that like button. I'm assuming that if you stuck with me this long, you probably liked the video, so go ahead, hit it. All right, guys. So until next time, bye.